counselor. Just wanted to remind you all that applications for all of our orientation positions, that's Camp Regal and SOS for successfully orienting students, close this Thursday at noon. That includes all of the application materials. I know most of you in this room are familiar with Camp Regal and SOS, either through having done it before or just having gone through it as a freshman. So just please be mindful of the fact that you too should be reminding your constituents to apply, as well as yourself, just being considerate of all that it means to be a good counselor or a good orientation leader. All of the details are on our website. That's fye.auburn.edu/apply. So that happens this Thursday at noon. Go ahead, take a look at it, and send to someone that you think would make a good counselor. That's all I have.
Molly, if you're ready on Zoom, we'll turn it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Hey y'all, if you haven't met me, my name is Molly Boudreau, and I'm serving as the Assistant Vice President of Feedback and Assessment over in Cabinet. So if y'all have ever put in a research request, I'm going to handle that. We've actually just made a page on the AU Involved for SGA, one of those forms that you can fill out, kind of like a marketing order form. That's going to do that same purpose for research. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show y'all how to navigate through that. Alright, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Alrighty, so if you're not already a member of SGA on AU Involved, you'll go ahead and request to be in that, because you'll need to be in that to see the forms. But you'll click there, scroll down, and go to view all forms. So the same place you do the marketing request. It's this new one, SGA Research and Benchmarking Request Form. And so click on that, new submission. And then you'll give us your name, so Molly, position in SGA, your Auburn email, and then your name of your committee chair for Senate, and then you can put, so we have a baseline survey, Auburn Answers Poll, or benchmarking. And so the difference between those, a baseline survey is going to be that very official looking survey that comes through your email. We have the Auburn Answers Poll, which is just on that new Auburn Answers website. And you'll be able to have, as people are submitting Auburn Answers, they'll be prompted to take polls into the same category. That's also what Caroline did for her finance poll, and then Stephen and Tyler did for their COVID testing poll. Benchmarking is just going to be comparing Auburn on a certain topic to our peer and aspirant institutions, so a lot of other SEC schools, and then some other schools that we kind of like look up to in certain aspects. So you can go ahead and choose multiple, one of them, whatever you think is best. If you have a question about which one you think would be best for your project, go ahead and text or call me or email me, whatever you want, and we can kind of talk through that if you want a little more clarification on what exactly those are. But say you want to do a baseline survey, you'll go through it and it'll give you some questions just about the baseline survey. Go ahead and upload a file of any survey draft questions that you have, starting with literally anything is better than nothing. And we'll definitely go through and rewrite things. So even if you don't think it's great, like, please upload it, it'll definitely help a lot. But when you like the survey to start, when you like for it to close, and then any additional information, if you'd like, they pretty much look the same for the other ones. Auburn Answers is going to ask, same thing, how long do you want to be open, how are you going to use this poll to aid advocacy efforts, and then any rough drafts of what you have. And then same thing for benchmarking, except benchmarking is going to ask what topic you'd like to benchmark Auburn on. So be as specific as possible there, just so you can get an idea of how much work it's going to really take, what we need to start looking through, and we need to make sure on our end that we have the right contact information for the schools we're looking at. Upload any information, notes, questions you have in the upload file, and then you'll have the option to say whether you want us to just look online for information, maybe on their SGA website, or recently we were looking at the mental health clinics at every school, something like that. Contact members of their SGA just via email. We have like running lists of the vice president at every single SGA on our peer aspirant institutions list, or if you want us to do both. And so then after you submit that, it'll go ahead and ask you when your availability is, because we'll probably need to meet with you to talk about any edits we need to make or what exactly needs to look like. So just go ahead and give us times you're available, and then myself, Jordan Fluker or Lauren Shepard will reach out to you. They're my directors of research and assessment, so that they are a huge help. And then once you submit that, make sure when you're on the screen you press the Swiftly Submit button. If you don't hit that, we're not going to get it. Once you do that, I'll get an email notification that it's gone through, and I will reach out to you if you have any questions or work on scheduling that meeting with you. But please, please, please use us. We are here to serve y'all, to aid in your efforts, writing legislation, advocating for students. So definitely please use us if you'd like to. A lot of your peers have already used us. If you have any questions, you can talk to Caroline, Tyler, Steven. They will definitely give you some pointers on some things to do. But yeah, thank y'all so much for letting me stop by.
Is there anybody else that would like to utilize open forum? All right, so as we talked about at our last Senate meeting, we were going to appoint a chaplain to give a non-vocation because that was in our code of laws. And so we wanted to bring up Senator Christian to give our first convocation.
Christian business. Now here we are. We're gonna need some more crowd participation.
Woo!
Yeah, that's what we like.
Yes, sir.
Look, thank you so much for this opportunity that I have. I'm not worthy of this, but thank you for letting me do it anyways. And also, I don't want this to be a thing where I'm just up here every single week. If any of you have something on your hearts that you'd like to share, reach out, come and do this before Senate. It'll be a great time. But also, I tried this new mask today. I've never worn it before, but I feel like a dumbo. It's like, I feel like it's pushing my ears down. But anyways, that was just on my heart to tell y'all. So back in the 11th grade, all right, we're throwing it back a little ways. I was in AP language, and look, full transparency, I am not an English major. Okay, I kind of like reading, not really. I'm not really good at language or grammar. I say y'all and ain't all the time, so there you go. But one thing that my teacher did every single day is she'd give us a prompt, just to kind of think about, to reflect on. And there was one prompt that she gave us that really stuck with me, and it was, are you living for your resume, or are you living for your eulogy? I was like, shoot. And if you really think about that, there's some meaning in there. Because see, your resume is professional, right? It's a list of your accomplishments, of your achievements, so that you can get to the next step. Your eulogy is more personal. Your eulogy is, okay, when all this is over, and this thing that we call life is over, what impact did you leave on the people around you? What are people going to remember you by? During the quarantine, those were some very interesting times, especially for us in our positions as senators. We had to resort to a lot of research, a lot of studying, so that we could still fulfill our role as senators. But one thing that I was convicted of is that focusing so much on research, focusing on the paper, on legislation, is just part of it. It's not all of our job. Again, at the end of the day, when all said and done, after these couple of years that we're at Auburn, legislation eventually is going to fade away. Right, it'll get amended. Resolutions and accommodations, same goes for them. The name of the senator that wrote every single piece of legislation, at some point it's going to be forgotten. So then it comes back to us. It's like, well, okay, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I writing this legislation for me, for my resume, when at the end of the day it's just going to fade away? Or am I working so that I can truly leave an impact on this campus in the time that I was here? So I think there's a direct correlation between the question, are you living for your resume, and are you living for your eulogy? As senators, I think that we're supposed to serve the people that elected us. Service isn't meant so as we go throughout the rest of this meeting, and then after this meeting this week, when we do office hours, when we talk to fellow senators about coming together and brainstorming, we have to ask ourselves, why are we doing what we do? Are we truly working to serve the people around us? Are we working for our resume? Or are we working for our eulogy? And that's all I have, but I will say that I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was up here and I said something about going and getting coffee with people. And I would just like to point out that nobody reached out about getting coffee. That's the, what do they say now, shameless plug? That's a shameless plug. If someone texts me, let's go get coffee. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Senator Christian. So now we'll move into a roll call. Jonathan, you good? The minutes were sent out electronically. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. So now we'll move into reports of our executive officers.
Hey y'all, sorry it's a bit of a hike. So we're Eagle after this past Saturday, am I right? Barely skirt past that one, but we made it. So happy to see all of y'all. I just have a few brief updates for y'all. So as of the week of October 4th, our COVID numbers were 21 campus-wide. So numbers continue to stay down, and that's just a testament to the way students have taken all of this seriously. So please continue to follow those guidelines so we can continue to get back to some sense of normalcy. Last week, we got 2 announcements from Senior Vice President. One was Dr. Woodard, and he had 3 main points included in his email. One was to ensure that everybody get your flu shot, so if you haven't already done that, be sure to do that in the future. The other one was to look out for your mental well-being, so this is something that we stress all the time in SGA. It was a huge part of my platform and something that I want all of you to take seriously. But also be sure to share with your constituents and look out for them. Student counseling and psychological services and health promotion wellness services are great offices to reach out to if you ever have concerns in that area. So please take advantage of those resources when you need them. And then lastly, please continue to follow those COVID guidelines. Be sure you're wearing those masks both inside and outside. Social distancing when possible, all that jazz. We've been doing this for several months now, so y'all know exactly what to do. We also got an announcement from Dr. Hargrave. He made a couple of points about going into the spring semester. The biggest of which is that the majority of classes will be online, or in person, sorry. So they will all be in person, unless otherwise given approval by their dean. So it's going to be really exciting to start to get back to normal, have those in-person classes, and really feeling like we're having that campus experience again. The academic schedule is still set to be the same. So we'll start classes on January 6th. As of now, we've made no changes to our spring break calendar. As many of you probably know, we're definitely the exception, not the rule in the SEC. So, but all of that is dependent on your actions, making sure those numbers stay down, making sure students are following guidelines, which was his third point in the email, that is all dependent on our actions. But we'll definitely know something about spring semester no later than November 24th. So we'll know something by the time the semester ends. So just be on the lookout for that. And then lastly, Caroline was not able to join us tonight, but I have 2 brief announcements from her. The long-awaited financial literacy programming will be launching tomorrow in partnership with Regions. We're really, really excited about that. And y'all can look out for the social media marketing materials for that. Then lastly, ring ceremony will be held on November 19th. So if you or a friend bought an Auburn ring, which I surely hope that you did, that will be that day. So looking forward to seeing all of you there. Thank y'all so much.
Okay, hey y'all, can y'all hear me? Okay, perfect. So a lot of things from me. So first, I'm going to give y'all a foreign language exchange program update, as this is one of our 8 executive goals. So we have a working group assembled, and we are meeting during our first meeting next Monday. So we're really excited about that with members of SGA as well as faculty and staff serving on this working group. to just figure out some ideas, explain the plan, and to start with some action items. And then the next thing that I wanted to let y'all know about is we had received a couple of Auburn answers and student feedback about students being in study rooms in the library and in Mel. So they were reserving these rooms, and students would either try to knock on the door while they were in the middle of the test, as they would like schedule to take tests in those rooms when they would reserve them. So something that we've worked with the dean of the library is to have testing hang tags. And so if you're interested in one of these or schedule a test and you are taking a test in one of these study rooms, you can go to the circulation desk in the library and get one of these hang tags for free. You don't even have to check it out and return it. It's just a printed off hang tag, and so you'll hang it on your door so no one will hopefully interrupt you during your test. And then you can throw it away, keep it for when you take a test another time. The next thing is the Donate a Dollar campaign is kicking off October 19th through November 19th. Which is really exciting. Last year it was a 2-week-long campaign. This year it is a month-long campaign. So what this is we have 5 participating C-stores. When you go into these C-stores during October 19th through November 19th, you can donate $1 via your Tiger Card money, cash, or a credit or debit card. And the $1 that you donate goes to the Auburn Cares Office and the Feed the Family Fund, and this money goes to students who need more money or cannot afford their Tiger Card money. So they get meal swipes to village dining and boy dining. So we will be asking for volunteers, and I'll make sure that Hayes sends that out to y'all. We're gonna have like a big push week next week and have volunteers at each of the 5 C-stores. The fourth thing is, I know y'all worked really hard, and an idea was parking spots in the village for to-go food. So we had students that were wanting to go to Chick-fil-A or village dining to pick up meals during the day, but they didn't have parking in the village parking lot. And so there are some loading zones. So they're like temporary orange barricades right now in those spots with signs. You do have to have your flashers on. So this is just like a grab and go. So say you grab Hub from Chick-fil-A in the village, you pull in, park in that spot, leave your flashers on, run in, and pick up your Chick-fil-A. So you do have to have your flashers on, or else parking and transportation can give you a ticket. But super excited about that work there. The last thing for me is if you have any academic feedback, those reports are going every Friday to the provost office, so we would love, if you have any feedback, feel free to send it my way. My email address is sjl0023. And then on top of feedback, we did have a game this past weekend and barely pulled out a win. But a win is a win. So if y'all have any game day feedback on just how we can do things better or any ideas or recommendations, please feel free to shoot those my way as well. And that's it for me. Thanks, y'all.
Hello everyone. Okay, I sound like a broken record. This week in SGA emails, so a cute little thing I'm going to share with all of you. It's through MailChimp, so we can see like who all actually opens the emails and how long you spend on there. So please, going forward, actually read them, everyone. Also, that's the only way Cabinet is really going to know like what y'all are doing in Senate. So if you could please be cognizant of that and submit the Google form and all that, that would be great. It's on those, like you can maybe pull up the email and go down to where it says submit something for this week in SGA. Awesome. Also, this week at AU is such a valuable resource for all of you. I don't know if you saw the email this afternoon, but literally you see Heyday as soon as you open it, scroll down a little bit, you see AU10. Awesome representation from SGA, so super excited for those teams. Also, SGA Apparel, hey, please send a link. So in your Zoom, SGA Apparel, there's a link there. SGA will provide the t-shirt for you. That is money that we have already allocated, obviously, the NF, you know that. But there's also an opportunity for a sweatshirt on there, depending, it's just like gauging your interest right now, but depending on how many people are interested, will depend on the price. It can be anywhere from like $25 to $32. A couple different color options in there. Super sick. However, we wanted to remind you that like these shirts are your working shirts, and whenever you wear this shirt, it is a representation of SGA and all that we strive to do. There's not an organization on campus that has the potential to advocate for students in the way in which we get to do every single day, and that's such a blessing. So just remember that whenever you do get them. Hopefully you'll have them before the semester's over. But whenever you're wearing them, like get some feedback on the way to class, or whenever you do get to go to class. Ada just mentioned that a lot more classes will be in person. So take advantage of that in the spring and talk to your neighbors and see how SGA can better serve them. Thanks y'all. or participate virtually, and you can find all the resources for that at aub.ie/heyday. There's like 4 different options for Zoom backgrounds that you can have on during class. It's just a simple way to say, hey, make sure you're still spreading the cheer and the Auburn family spirit. You're not kidding. AU10 launched today, so that's something that's really, really exciting. That's kind of part of our city partnerships executive goal. So we work with 48 local businesses in the Chamber of Commerce to basically give students a 10% discount at the point of sale if they show their Tiger card. So that's really huge, really great for students, and really great for the Auburn business community. So please shop locally and utilize that program. Molly just showed you all the research request form. Please use that. One thing she did not mention is that it needs to be a 3-week hard deadline on that. So if you are submitting research, you need to submit it 3 weeks before you need it to launch. That's just a standard thing that gives her and her team plenty of time. Last week we held voter registration drives, and those went well. Thank you to all of you who signed up to help with those. Then next Friday I will be sitting on a How to Vote panel with political science faculty. So now that you're registered, now we're getting you to the polls and trying to explain how election day will work, how it's going to be different in the midst of a pandemic. So more information will be coming out about that soon. And then finally, keep promoting the new Auburn Answers link. So we've gotten a good amount of Auburn Answers on the new website, but we've also gotten a lot on the old website, which is to be expected. Please make sure your constituents know to go to aub.ie/AuburnAnswers. And that is all I have.
So now we'll move into the reports of our colleges, starting with at large.
Sullivan at large. So we have a couple of different little things. This was announced to us last week, but it was just said that student counseling and from the student counseling and psychological services, they have had 289 new clients for the fall semester, and 110 of these students sought these services because of COVID-19 indirectly. 64.8% was from academics, 2.7 from mental health, 59.8 youth experiences, 59.8 motivation or focus, 59.6 loneliness or isolation, 37.6 career/employment, 34.7 relationships, 30.6% was financial, 28.5 was health concerns for others, and 24% was health concerns for self. And then the Office of Inclusion Diversity will be having a benefit night tomorrow at Nipper's Benefiting Domestic Violence Intervention Center, and then they'll also be hosting a domestic violence awareness virtual visual that's going to be streamed from the Green Space for survivors on Wednesday, October 14th at 6 p.m. And then also the Med Clinic has walk-in flu shots every day. There'll be flu shots in the Student Center on Tuesday and Wednesday this week from 10 to 2 in room 2326. So,
Agriculture.
Doral Agriculture. So not this week, but the week after, on Tuesday and Wednesday, the College of Agriculture is hosting our organization days on campus out in front of Comer Hall. And it's from 9 to 12, and we're going to have several clubs and organizations spread out. So if any of your constituents are interested in any clubs with our college, then come check it out.
Business.
Wagner Business. In the college business this week, one important update is faculty and staff has created this video that's going to be sent to alumni from the business school. It's basically just like an update on how life works now that COVID's a thing. So that's going out this week or sometime soon, I believe. Another thing is FMA is having a panel with business professionals. It's one of their big events. They do a big event in the fall and one in the spring. This will be happening on Friday, and it's open to all business students. But I'm sure you can get in if you're not a business student. And then next up is business students. So getting feedback on Mary Kate's bill and everything. Business students are definitely in favor of Great Forgiveness Program. We all kind of asked around just word of mouth style, and no one's against it. So that's huge. That's all we got.
Cadsy.
past week we had two really big midterm meetings. Those were for the CASC Council and the Dean's Office, respectively, where in both meetings talked about the feedback between our constituents. We talked about the goals that we set at the beginning of this semester and how we plan to carry them out and finish them by the end of this semester. And it was conveniently a lot of synergizing between all of our resources to help each party complete their goals. Thank you.
Go, Sam.
Callahan Kosim. So two things really to talk about. Number one being that Ashley Patterson, our schools council president, sent out a link, like I mentioned last week, that we used to collect data on how our students kind of felt that their fall experience had been thus far, particularly in regard to the academic and campus experience. We met with the dean and the assistant dean this past Friday, and if there's anything I could use my time here for right now, it's really just to talk to your deans and your assistant deans, because I relayed so much information that, quite honestly, my assistant dean had no idea about. For example, in the survey, we had a lot of information on the fact that classes really weren't being honored. The class time wasn't being honored. Canoptas were being posted, and they felt like, what was the point of my schedule if I'm not even meeting during that time? Moreover, and the biggest one is, our dean truly had no idea that some of our professors were offering tests, which I have tomorrow, my anatomy test, which should be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's on Wednesdays. So they had no idea about these things, and it really took us sitting there relaying that information, which there is going to be a change this next week. They're meeting with the head of all 5 co-standards departments. So just letting you guys know, please reach out to your deans, because they were not aware of that problem. That and schools council will be having a town hall next week as well. Time TBA.
Education.
Education. Right now we're just working on planning and developing a event for meeting the new dean of our school, and then we're also working on doing a t-shirt sale as a fundraiser for the Big House Foundation, and then we're going to have some marketing strategy meetings this upcoming week.
Engineering.
Law, engineering. So the biggest thing from the College of Engineering this week is that we have a town hall this Thursday at 4 p.m. With our e-council and the dean and all the senators. So if anyone you know in the College of Engineering, come out, give us their feedback. And before that meeting, we're also going to be meeting with the schools council, just kind of relay some information that's happening in the Senate and see what they've been up to.
Forestry and wildlife sciences.
Redwell, Forestry and Wildlife Sciences, no new reports.
Grad school.
Graduate school is maritime. I want to remind everybody that heyday is more than just going out and greeting someone, make a new relationship. We've got a lot of first-year students out there that this is a completely different environment, much like those veterans returning from World War II. They're being reintegrated into our alternate culture. So reach out to somebody that's their first year, whether they be a freshman or a graduate student. I posted a link out there. It's got the Zoom link for our graduate student colloquium this month. And the subject is student insurance. And so we've got the representative from UHCSR, which is the folks that do our insurance, and they're there to give a short brief and then answer questions you might have. And we did a little poll of graduate students for the top 10 questions, then go ahead and have answers to. Then I'd like to remind everybody that Friday is the deadline to register for the 3-minute thesis, which is our annual Shark Tank type competition. And if you win here at Auburn, you go on to Queensland and have an opportunity to win prizes. So there's a link there in the that I put on there for the Senate. And then finally, I'd encourage y'all to follow the Graduate Student Council on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We put all this information out there as well. Thanks a lot.
Human sciences.
May, human sciences, no new report.
Liberal arts.
Carter's the
then on Thursday, we have a New York career trek for those interested in like moving to New York one day. And then also we have the Living Democracy applications out for those who are interested in that. You go live in a small town in Alabama and work with their city government. Sorry, my glasses are foggy now. And then we also have a GRE prep workshop on October 14th. So yeah, that's what we got going on at CLA.
Nursing.
Nobles Nursing. So right now at the nursing school, we've got a pumpkin painting event coming up. So that's being put on by our student wellness committee. So that's kind of exciting. And then we're also participating in promoting Safe Sleep Month for infants. And so that looks like posting weekly safe sleep tips on our Instagram. So that's at a nursing school if you want to follow along.
Pharmacy.
Baylor Pharmacy, our Dean's Fitness Challenge is still going on between us, the School of Nursing, and VCOM. And tomorrow we have a college-wide free F45 virtual fitness class that people can attend from the School of Pharmacy.
Vet Med.
Sure, Vet Med. I mentioned this last week, but this week is Vet Tech Appreciation Week. So if you have any vet techs in your life or you're going to the vet this week, make sure to give your vet techs and vet nurses some extra love.
So that concludes reports of our colleges. Now we'll move into standing committees, starting with academic affairs.
Travel engineering. Okay, so y'all have heard me talk about the polls before, but just to remind everybody, we have our academics poll, which is pretty similar to the poll that Cole had. COSIUM sent out, which is going to get us some data on how people feel about the library hours, how their classes have been operated, scheduling conflicts, and we're hoping to take that information and relay that to deans as Cole did and turn that into a resolution to see some changes on campus. We're experiencing some technical difficulties with that, but I'd like to thank Cabinet and Molly Joe and Landon and Michael for all their work on that. Be on the lookout for that in the next few days, and as soon as we can get the tech issues worked out. And then we have our separate poll, which is centered around the resolution that we're hoping to put out, advocating for professors to write their own statements of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the classroom. Which will be a baseline survey. So that will be a little bit further out, but be on the lookout for that. We've got Riley and Brian continuing to work on our resolution advocating for the lunch program to also be added into professor syllabi. So we're really excited to see some publicity for the lunch program come out of that. And we also are having a conversation on what that could look like to extend to graduate students. So that's something that we're continuing to research and look at. And I'd like to thank everybody for getting such awesome feedback on our Great Forgiveness program. We've had a lot of excellent responses on that, and we're excited to take that and move that forward in the next coming weeks. And lastly, we have our commendation on the floor of the current order tonight, commending all of the great work professors have done in regards to academia and research and finding solutions for COVID-19. So thanks for everything on all that. That's all I got.
Budget and finance.
So a few weeks ago, a few senators as well as people from Budget and Finance asked if I could kind of do a presentation on how the Budget and Finance process is changing with COVID. So we whipped up a little PowerPoint to kind of explain those changes real quick for y'all. I know I've kind of mentioned this a ton of times on the floor, but I haven't really put together a formal presentation until now, so I just wanted to give you all the chance to hear it this way and ask any questions if you need to. So a little bit of background on why this is necessary. First, with COVID regulations and everything, we kind of realized, of course, student activity organizations have to change the way they operate. So we had to alter the BNF process so that we could accommodate, that diminished capacity of SAOs this year. And a good example of that I kind of put in on the next bullet is like an event that may have had 200 plus people attend in a normal year is now only permitted to accommodate 50, increased to 100, so it's now 100. But this decrease in capacity
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Lord Liberal Arts. So I know that we kind of mentioned DEI week and we were talking about it a little bit, but we kind of took the approach of knowing that if we want those things to happen, just kind of set it up, looking to see what other universities have done, other schools, just kind of see and set up a program for the cabinet to kind of do it, because they're really over like events and things like that, and just trying to see how we can best alleviate our resources and the things that we get to kind of help cabinet in that process. Also, just want to emphasize Caroline's financial literacy project. That's just very, very important, and I think it'll help a lot, especially with a lot of our COVID results. People struggling financially, this will definitely help them out. And then one thing that we're looking into now is that a lot of students are kind of stressed that since we kind of moved to online, that it's been harder for them to adapt, harder for them to get resources and things like that. So we ask that y'all kind of make sure that you're reaching to your constituents, kind of see what they need, see how we can help, see how we can best alleviate our resources to help them. And then tell someone on the DEI committee so we can kind of work that out and make sure that everyone is getting an equitable shot to succeed this semester. And then we're also just letting everyone kind of look individually to see what projects they want to pursue. So be on the lookout for that. If there's anything that your specific committees aren't doing and you want to work on something DEI related, also reach out to the senators as well. That's all I have.
Student affairs.
Society business. So a couple of things from this week. The first one, Sarah Jane kind of hit on it a little bit, which we're really excited about. Thank you for all the feedback. But just getting that loading zone for village parking. Really excited about that. But kind of wanted to hit on that a little bit more. We're actually reaching back out to Don Andre, and I did so this morning about getting additional village parking. It seems like that's been a lot of kind of a consensus among feedback right now is a lot of students are kind of going to the village and seeing that there's open spots. So maybe throughout COVID, maybe long term, I don't know what, but maybe we can get kind of some spots for everybody. Next is we're going to be sending out a poll here shortly on bringing a restaurant to campus. So maybe that's right now the three kind of restaurants that got the most votes are Chipotle, Subway, Whataburger. So if you think that I'm crazy for those three, please send in your kind of requests, and we'll also have other kind of section as well. So maybe we'll get one of those on campus. I think that'd be cute. I eat at Chipotle all the time, so it'd be nice to kind of use Tiger dining for that. And then last part is we're just going to be tabling the accommodation on the facilities right now. We're going to be breaking that up based off of COVID and then also for campus track. So looking forward to this one next week.
Exec committee.
This week's business. Hey guys, as always this week, office hours are due at 7:30, so if you haven't submitted those yet, please do so because I will check those at the end of this meeting. One thing that I'm doing starting, a couple weeks ago was, depending on what feedback you all give me, so there's optional extra feedback, questions, stuff like that, I will send that to the respective committee chairs. So if you meet with constituents or gather that feedback, let's say, village parking or whatever it might be, I consolidate that and I send it in a nice little email to Stephen, and Stephen takes that and has a meeting or uses that for legislation or whatever. So very important to fill that out. So other than that, exec, we don't have that many more meetings left, so make sure you all attend one so I don't have to give you all absence. And then of course if you have any absences or any excuses for absences, send that my way. And then of course, payday. That's a really cool tradition, so you gotta do that. Thanks guys.
So that is it for reports of our standing committees. Now we'll move into the reports of our liaisons. And I believe Leah is the only one with us, so Student Veterans Association.
Good evening, everybody. Stewart of Student Veterans. As of right now, I do not have anything to report to you guys.
I'm so sorry I didn't see you back there.
Hi, you guys. Sorry I'm joining y'all a little late to the party, but my name's Maya. I'm
Thank you, Maya. So that is it for our reports of our liaisons. I just want to remind everybody to log on to Zoom if you have not, because now we will move into current orders of business, and I'll give Pearson a minute to pull that up. But first current order, PSSC 2010-1201, commendation of Auburn faculty for rapid response to COVID-19 solutions. This commendation is brought to you by Senators Dorrell and Saville.
All right, Doral Agriculture. Hey everyone, we're back with this commendation from Academic Affairs. I know y'all heard it last week. It's just commending the Auburn faculty, a lot of professors doing a lot of good research for their fast, very good response to COVID-19. And we made a few changes. Just with who we CC'd, we added some of the academic titles. Just had some of them add PhDs, we added doctors, stuff like that, as you see right there. And so those are the only changes. So
Pearson, we're going to read it one more time.
Commendation of Auburn faculty for rapid response to COVID-19 solutions. Whereas the COVID-19 pandemic is affecting nearly every aspect of life and causing need for hospital equipment, a vaccine, economic strategies for businesses, learning techniques for online classes, solutions for minority groups disproportionately affected, and food secure individuals, and more.
Seeing there's a second, is there any debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All in favor of passing the proposed amendment as written, please say aye and click the green check mark. Aye. All opposed, please say no and click the red X. The ayes have it and the amendment has passed.
Make a motion to pass this commendation as written.
Seeing there's a second, is there any further debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All in favor of passing the commendation as written, please say aye and click the green check mark. Aye. All opposed, please say no and click the red X. The ayes have it and this commendation is passed. So our next bill, our next commendation for the night was PSSC 2010-1202. That commendation has been tabled, and so now we'll move into future orders of business, starting with we do have to vote. Okay. Seeing there's a second, is there any debate on tabling this commendation? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All in favor of tabling this commendation indefinitely, please say aye and click the green check mark. Aye. All opposed, please say no and click the red X. The ayes have it and this commendation is tabled indefinitely. So now we'll move into future orders of business, starting with PSSB 2010-1901, Code of Laws Committee making grammatical and formatting changes. This bill is brought to you by Senator Loftus.
Spacing, numbering, spelling, titles, capitalization, and gender language. All formatting and grammar changes that the Code of Law Committee makes does not affect any content within the Code of Law. Thank you.
PSSB 2010-1902, Email Correspondence, Duties of Schools Council. This bill is brought to you by Senator Mathner.
To discuss
concludes our future orders, and now we'll move into announcements. I'll go ahead, give my announcements. First thing I want to say, the reason that I had Senator Doral reread the commendation is partly about what I'm about to say. Is Jamie came to me basically just talking about the way she ran her Senate meetings, because she was able to serve in the same position, and basically Jamie called me soft. Not really, not really, but she was very formal with Robert's rules, and being completely honest with everybody, and being like transparent. I would have liked to have done that back in February, but with the way coronavirus happened and we only were able to serve or have 2 in-person Senate meetings, it was really tough because we were never able to get into that groove. And so what I would like to do going forward, and Jamie's been talking about this, is she's going to be giving us a Robert's Rules refresher. And so one thing I want from this is really a learning experience for all of us. The last thing I want is for somebody to be afraid to speak because they don't know what the proper procedure is. Like, it's going to be very relaxed. Like, if you don't know, I mean, just use it as a learning experience. But it is completely okay if it takes you multiple times. I have messed up several times tonight, but I would like it to be a little bit more formal, and just us following the proper procedure and using some of the language as well, because that would have been my intention back in February. And we can handle it a little bit differently now, but I do want everybody to at least have that experience in here, because while it is serious and formal, I do think that there is a little bit of like fun, and I think it's a cool experience for everybody to say that they were able to do that and learn about that. So that's the first part of my announcement. Second part is we only had 5 senators, I believe, sign up to help out with Hay Day on Wednesday. Obviously, the volunteer sign up has closed, but if you are willing to help out on Wednesday, please, please, please help out. I think that this is going to be a huge day for Auburn students just because we have not had that true programming, in-person interaction in a long, long time. So I'd really like to see more than 5 of y'all out there helping out. And if you want to sign up, just email me, email Michael, or somebody, sorry, I don't want to flood your inbox, Michael, but somebody on Michael's team, and just say where you'll be out in front of your college, because we really want this to go well, and we want everybody to have a good experience. So that's all I've got. I'll turn it over to Jamie, Brad, or Pearson. I was completely kidding.
But I do have an advisory story pointers for you all. Surprise! It's on Hay Day. Big surprise. Maybe tying it back to mental health a little bit. Oh, yeah. Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. So I will be talking a little bit about Hay Day and mental health. My first point is going to be a pop quiz. It's not great that it is one question, but the first question is, how
With that, this meeting is adjourned.